So this was a truly horrific horror story about Britain's greatest villain, in my opinion, Jimmy Savile. I say greatest villain, probably worst villain, I should say. It was decent. I say decent. This was a great documentary. I really loved it. Like, I saw some footage of Savile I've never seen before, some interviews. Maybe a few of the interviewees were sort of denying responsibility, as they do. I learned a lot about the case, or cases, that I didn't know before. Some stuff I already knew, so it wasn't like new information to me, but it was interesting having it laid back to me. I guess this counts as a movie. I think it was like 2 parts, but you know, it's on Netflix. It's a documentary. It's like an hour and a half long each for the parts. I'm genuinely fascinated by the Jimmy Savile case. It's one of the most intriguing cases of like corporate cover-ups and all that shit that went on for decades, and it truly is a horror story. If you watch this documentary, you will be appalled. Let's say you've never heard of Jimmy Savile, you don't know who that is. Don't look it up, don't do anything, just watch the documentary and you'll be surprised at how this guy got away with it for so long, because it's actually embarrassing. Like, as a British person, I'm embarrassed. I will forever love the Jackass boys. I still haven't seen 4.5, which I will eventually. I really love the first 3 movies. They're really funny. They get progressively better, in my opinion. I think maybe the second film is the best one because it has the terrorist sketch in it, which is so fucked up.
Get the fuck in the trunk.
Well, he's got a fucking gun pointed at me, fuckface, asshole,
Get in the fucking trunk, dude. I'm
Get in the trunk. Shit, man.
But this film was honestly great. It was a nice little conclusion to the Jackass movies. It's been years. It was way better than Bad Grandpa, so it kind of, I guess you could say the franchise recovered, because not a lot of people liked that movie, even though I did. Yeah, it's just really great. Eric Andre's in it for a bit, which is really funny.
Nightmare, 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 nightmare. Secured her.
I even thought the new guys were pretty great. The woman was really cool. She didn't do that much. Apparently she does more in 4.5, but motherfucker got a scorpion sting to the lip. I mean, Jesus. Seeing the old guys all back together was really great, even if, you know, Bam is a bit difficult to work with and wasn't in the movie that much. Apparently he's in 4.5, so, you know, I feel like maybe I should have watched 4.5 before talking about this, but it is a different movie, technically. I didn't really like 3.5 or 2.5 that much. They were okay. But yeah, I thought it was really great. And honestly, continue the franchise. Just have like Johnny Knoxville and the other dudes as like hosts, and have these new people like the lady or the new fat guy be like the stunt performers, but still have the charisma and the excitement of having the original guys there. It's really fun, funny stuff. I like it. When you open up on a shot, like a moving, gliding shot of some really fat dude masturbating to gay porn, you know it's going to be a good movie. The Whale is everything it promised to be. It's Brendan Fraser's comeback. It's extremely well directed. It's very tightly scripted. It's incredibly well acted. I mean, Samantha Morton's in the movie for a little bit and she's fucking amazing. Sadie Sink, I think her name is in the film. I didn't think she was great. I thought she was pretty good, but it's just like comparing her to the other actors, she wasn't as good. The missionary guy was okay as well. Similar feelings about him. Hong Chow, who's in another movie that I really love that we'll talk about in this very same video. She was fucking amazing in the film. I really loved her. I really felt her emotions, like almost as much as I felt Brendan Fraser's. Charlie's rather. His probably came across more because they were more intense, but hers was still very powerful. The story's great. It has a lot to say about obesity, and I really loved the ending. I thought that was kind of magical, actually. The way the title plays into the film, it's great. I won't spoil it, but it's truly incredible stuff, and I recommend watching it. This film is just kind of heartbreaking, and for me, on a certain level, kind of relatable. It's about sort of addiction and abuse of like your vices, like alcohol, for example, is this film's case. It's about a woman who wins the lottery and she flushes it all down the toilet. 6 years later, she's out of her flat, or her apartment, and she tries to move in with her son. Things don't work out. He's still bitter about her, and she still starts drinking and shit, even though she promises she won't, and being a pain in the ass generally. She ends up in her old hometown again, which isn't great because there's still conflict there. It's quite an emotional journey she goes through. There are some interesting characters in this film. The characters that she comes into conflict with, that older lady. It's one of those things where it was a situation where no one was really right or wrong. Everyone fucked up in some way or another, and it's just haunting all of them, and the only way they can really get over it is if they just forget about it, move on with their lives, and become better people, which is exactly what Leslie does, to be fair. The woman playing her, Andrea Riseborough, is honestly incredible. You wouldn't believe she was English as well watching the movie. Everyone's great in the movie. Andre Royo was the LSD brain damaged guy, Royal. Owen Tegu as James, her son, is really great. He's not in the movie that much, but he's really great in it. Alison Janney is incredible incredible as Nancy, the woman that Leslie particularly comes into conflict with. Mark Maron does an incredible job as Sweeney, like this kind of sweet dude who runs the motel that Leslie ends up getting a job in. She fucks it up at first, but then she makes amends. She genuinely tries to get better, and it's a very touching story which ends, honestly, just perfectly. It ends as well as it can, and as satisfyingly as it can. So, you know, it's like trying to, I guess, come up with words to accurately describe how it really, really made me feel. And that was just nice, you know? I kind of didn't like Leslie at first. I thought she was fucking horrible, but then I just had to keep reminding myself she is an addict and someone who kind of ruined her own life, not willingly, but just kind of let it happen. And I felt sorry for her. And the fact that she actually got better at the end and didn't drink that beer and that shot like I thought she was going to, and then go home and fuck that guy, that was a good little thing. She ended up not doing it, even though it pretty much was saying to your face, yeah, this is going to happen, but it didn't, which was good. So yeah, it was a great little film. Honestly, I love Babylon. I really love this movie as a homage to its era of filmography, and not only that, but the people that made it possible. It's incredible as that alone, and it's a visual thrill ride and also a story level one. Like the characters, the things that happen to them, the things that they go through, all the shit that just plagues these people's lives is honestly amazing. Some of them die, some of them make it to the next generation. Diego Calva was absolutely incredible in this movie. Margot Robbie was fantastic. Brad Pitt was obviously absolutely incredible. Honestly, Samara Weaving looks so much like Margot Robbie. I actually thought that it was Margot Robbie playing the same character, especially the way it was weirdly shot and edited. I think intentionally so. Maybe they did that on purpose. They were like, hey, Margot and Samara kind of look like each other. Should we edit it really weirdly so they're never on screen at the same time and they look like each other, and, you know, people start to think that they're actually like the same person. That wouldn't surprise me. I love this director, Damien Chazelle. He's made nothing but good movies, as far as I know, at least. Whiplash is one of my favorite films ever made. La La Land is incredible. Everything about this movie, the stress of making these sometimes epic scale films, the stress of making these fairly simple sound films with the introduction of sound technology, which was a pain in the ass for everyone involved, career downfall after sudden career uprising, and these people get lucky. They don't work really particularly hard, they just get lucky. Like the main character Manny gets lucky, Nellie Leroy, Margot Robbie's character, gets really lucky, and all these stories and how they kind of connect to each other but then split off into their own things and conclude in their own satisfying, sometimes quite tragic ways. The standout for me is probably Jovan Adipo as Sidney Palmer. Like that story, he's kind of the only one that makes it in the end, like actually ends up happy and enjoys his life after all the stress of getting to where he wants to be, then realizing that's not really where he wants to be, and then going back to where he was before but in a happier place. So it's like he actually went and learned something in a fairly simple way. He suffered a bit of racial abuse, you could say, but he still ended up alright. The rest of them went through some truly traumatic and horrible shit, especially like, you know, Manny's character before he ended up where he was with a wife and daughter. You'd say Jack Conrad had it pretty easy, but he did shoot himself after realizing that his career was, you know, done for. But honestly, the standout performance for me, and I'm going to sound biased as all hell here, it's got to be Tobey Maguire as James McKay. He was so creepy, so weird looking, so just fucking bizarre and genuinely disturbing and scary in this movie, especially with the underground sex dungeon rat eating shit. I was like, what the fuck is going on? And the way he's like, what the fuck, when they kill his bodyguard. All the acting in this movie is incredible. I also really loved Jean Smart as Eleanor St. John. She perfectly captured that bitchy, irritating, horrible, somewhat hypocritical, genuinely quite malicious, but only because it's her job. It's nothing personal, Eleanor St. John character. The ending was gorgeous. I love the ending. Like, the homage to the industry and the transition from silent to talkies, the business side of everything, the disturbing, fucked up party side, that when she gets bitten by that snake. And of course, I can't forget about Lee Jun Lee, who's kind of, I guess in my head at least, the last, like, main character. I consider, like, the main, I guess, six to be Brad Pitt, Margot Robbie, Diego Calva, Jean Smart, Jovan Adipo, and Lee Jun Lee. And Lady Fei Zhu is kind of the only character who I would say ends in the least satisfying way. It has some really tragic moments, like when Jack's alcoholic friend George kills himself, even though he was the one that was there from the beginning. Jack's struggling love life, he even gets shot by one of his unstable wives. Lady Fei Zhu kind of got it the worst, I would say. And again, her story, I would say, ends in the least satisfying way, but that kind of works. She just kind of disappears disappears and goes and does her own thing, which is pretty cool. Kind of like Sydney in a way. So yeah, overall, a great movie. I don't understand people that don't like it. I just, whatever, it's too long, it's repetitive, like it's just the scene after scene of the same shit happening, like partying and working, tragic shit happening. Like, yeah, sure, but it's still entertaining. You can be as repetitive as you want. I'm still entertained by you, okay? Spoke about this film in a quickie. Amazing film. I've seen it again since then. Very funny, very heartwarming, very touching, very over the top, just ridiculous, but incredible movie. I love it dearly.
Okay.
All is quiet on the Western Front. And I must say, no, it is not. When the soldiers die, it is, but when they're in the middle of fighting or having banter and there's genuinely kind of harsh, brutal moments in this movie, I'm like, this is a fucking war epic in the modern day. And it's a very intense, unforgiving film. Some of the shit that happens, like the ending is, I guess I'm entering spoiler territory, but when he gets stabbed to death, the last of like the original German dudes who, you know, came to fight, like I guess the main, I think there were 5 of them, the guy with glasses and whatnot, like, it's like out of all of them, the last one to stand, he makes it for so long, but then he gets stabbed like literally 5 seconds before the peace shot is fired and the war ends, and they're all encouraged to fight. Like, this is all fucked up, horrible stuff that really happened in World War One. They're forced to fight even though the war is officially ending, even though they just want to go home or surrender, but they can't disobey their superiors, God forbid. And just watching all these characters, like even the scenes where they have fun, or like when they meet like some local French farmers, or they steal from local French farmers, and that's actually what ends up killing one of them, which is really tragic. And these scenes where they actually have like a camaraderie and they like cook after they've like stolen geese from farmers and stuff. This is a really great movie. The action is incredible as well. And that scene in the, I guess, the mud pit where he kills that soldier and then he sees a picture of his wife and child and he feels bad and he tries to like comfort him while he's dying. It's really, really quite harsh, tragic stuff, like I said before already. I'm kind of going to repeat myself. It's just an incredible war movie. I don't want to talk about it for too long. You should just go and watch it. It's a great experience, and especially when you think about how it takes place from the German perspective. At least nowadays, there aren't too many war movies that follow the German side, even if they're the side that might have been in the wrong, but the soldiers were still just soldiers fighting a war, just like the British or the French were. It's very sad stuff. I think what I liked most about 3,000 Years of Longing was it's just pure, fantastical, romantic storytelling. And that to me is what works so well about it. Idris Elba and Tilda Swinton are always really fun, incredible actors to watch. I love them both dearly, especially Tilda Swinton. Like, Tilda, hit me up. They do incredible jobs, and I love the story of this movie. It's just a great, weird, unconventional story, and the stuff that happens, the characters that are in the story, and I guess like the mythology and how this genie works is all very intriguing, not only on a concept level, but on an actual execution level. It's really interesting stuff. Visually, it's pleasing and interesting. I wasn't that sure about the ending. I thought it was fine. I didn't quite get it, I guess, but it was like the build up to it was good enough for me. Like the actual film itself is so incredible. How this guy can hear all these things and not have it drive him insane, I'm envious. I can't even stand in a fucking crowd for more than 10 minutes without losing my mind. It's just an incredible, touching, romantic fantasy film, and I love it dearly. The menu is, by contrast to 3,000 Years of Longing, a biting satire. It is a very dark, very funny, surprisingly, very quirky and weird satirical slant on the chef cooking industry, whatever you want to call it. Everyone in this film is fucking fantastic. They all give phenomenal performances. I cannot shout out the actors more than enough for this film. I guess the obvious standouts would be Anya Taylor-Joy and Ralph Fiennes, I don't know. And Hong Chow was really great in the film as well. Nicholas Hoult was honestly really fucking great. Again, just all the actors in this film were fucking incredible. They fit like their stereotyped characters perfectly, you know? Margot being like the carefree, well, not carefree, but like careless, not that interested in being here one. Chef Slowick being the weird, eccentric, possibly psychotic chef who genuinely believes that someone deserves to die because they starred in a movie that he didn't like on his one day off, and it like ruined his one day off in ages. And then they deserve to die for maybe more, I guess, understandable reasons, like Lillian being a horrible, miserable journalist that shuts people down, or those 3 guys doing tax fraud or whatever it is. I love the character interactions. They're really cute and really funny. They all have their own personalities that bounce off of each other really well. There are some great twists and turns. I don't want to spoil too much about it because it's that good. I love that this film has acquired like a modern cult movie status. It kind of reminds me of Under the Silver Lake in the sense that it's quite an unconventional, very weird film, but people seem to be latching onto it and enjoying it for what it is. The cheeseburger scene, mwah. Can't lie, tried to imitate that recipe. Probably not as good, but I like a good old-fashioned double-decker fried cheeseburger. Great film. And great food, honestly. I would eat here. I probably wouldn't want to die afterwards. Probably not the last shit I would want to eat before I died, but you know. I spoke about The Northman before. Genuinely incredible. I'm not much of a Shakespearean dude, but I loved it. It was because it was based on the original tale that Shakespeare, you could say, either adapted or ripped off, whatever word you want to use. Gritty, brutal, violent, well acted, incredible journey. I loved it amazingly. Go check out my quickie if you want to hear more about it. It's just really great. Now, Tar is where we get a little bit more controversial. I think what works about Tar is that it's a very biting, like The Menu, but it's less like self-aware and silly with darkly comical twists. It's more so a biting, satirical, serious, very serious take on like how the modern world is affecting, I guess, artists in a sense. Whether those artists are in the right or the wrong, Tara is obviously, you know, kind of in the wrong. Not kind of, she is in the wrong. It's a different story, but it is just hands down a commentary on that, I think. Cancel culture, essentially. Like how she has a student who is genuinely made uncomfortable and, you know, pissed off by the fact that he has to perform music by like a woman-hating white cisgendered male or whatever. Even though he's from like the fucking 1800s, so most of the music from that era is white cis males. She just doesn't understand it. She ends up offending him. Some TikTok gets out, which is like an obviously edited mashup of her saying controversial shit. Obviously it comes out that maybe she might have indirectly involved in the suicide of an ex-lover. She struggles to be with her family because she's working so hard her career takes a downfall, to the point she actually throws a guy off stage and gets fucking escorted by security off the stage, even though it's her piece. And she goes through a lot of shit. Like she falls over and breaks her nose trying to chase down a student that she has the hots for, like trying to return her teddy bear or whatever, even though she probably just wanted to bang her. Cate Blanchett is phenomenally flawless in this movie. Like every time I see her in a movie, I keep thinking there's no way she can top that performance. What does she do? She tops the performance. Fuck you, Kate. And of course, because her career is ruined, she retreats to some Asian country and becomes a conductor for the Monster Hunter video game series in front of an audience of cosplayers, which is really funny. And she ends up living in the Philippines. It's very bilingual, this movie, which is pretty cool, I like. And the themes, again, of like sexual abuse, psychological abuse, commitment to work and not being able to work anymore and do what you're passionate about because of your own fuck-ups, and sort of like, I guess, blaming the world for it and having too much of an ego to recognize you did something wrong. It's all great stuff. It applies to today's society, and it's applied pretty much throughout society. Some people are pieces of shit. Like I mentioned Jimmy Savile earlier. Elvis Presley married a 14-year-old. Sean Connery was a woman beater. It's like, it's only now does this shit really seem to be bothering people, and they seem to be speaking up about it, which is very interesting. And again, this film offered the rare perspective of the person in the wrong being a woman, you know, which I thought was very interesting. So that was great. I loved Puss in Boots: The Last Wish so much. This movie actually touched me emotionally and made me cry. I'm not even joking. I don't care that much about the first Puss in Boots movie. It's fine. It's childhood nostalgia. Sure. I love the character. I love Shrek. Baboom. This film is genuinely, it's incredible. And I don't want to say too much about it because you just have to watch it. You got to take my word for this. You just have to watch this movie and find out how incredible it is without me having to fully explain it to you. The voice acting, the animation, the characters, it's funny, it's scary, it's kind of fucked up, it's tragic as hell. Like even Goldilocks and the Three Bears have like an emotional core to them that I attach to and feel sorry for. The only one who's like genuinely like a funny villain is Little Jack, who's like genuinely hilarious. Like he has some of the funniest scenes in the fucking movie, especially with that weird little Jiminy Cricket parody and that face he pulls. I love this movie so much. It's so good. And again, it actually touched me emotionally. It made me cry. Like whenever that wolf showed up, it scared the shit out of me, and it made me worried for Puss so much. Like actually scared for this character, crying for this character. And he actually becomes a true hero, loses that ego, and learns to appreciate his last life instead of looking for more. It's genuinely great stuff. I love it. And the little Marvel stinger at the end, hoping for Shrek 5 soon, maybe another Puss in Boots movie after this. I don't know how a sequel to such an average movie can be so fucking amazing. Maybe movies should be delayed for 10 years more often. Who knows? A film about the truly fucked up, genuinely morbid, and kind of frustrating and upsetting side of friendship. This film, I don't know what it is about this director, Martin McDonagh. I should know how to pronounce that, as I'm Irish, but whatever. I don't know how he does it, but he keeps making these movies more and more unique. I think Three Billboards is better than this movie. Even if they don't always end up being better, they end up being about on par or just as good as each other. It's like, holy I don't understand how you can be this talented and make movies this fucking amazing. It actually confuses me. Of course, the acting is phenomenal, the direction is incredible, the story is so unconventional and out there and weird, but also so simple and grounded and interesting. It's just about normal people. One of them, clearly completely fucking mentally ill as fuck, who actually thinks it's normal to just cut off fingers and throw them at doors because someone he just doesn't want to talk to anymore for no real reason other than he's boring, you know. So he just decides to take up violin lessons and play the violin because he wants to be less boring, he wants to be instrumental, he wants to be friends with some fucking pig police officer that beats up his own son. Barry Keoghan he's fucking amazing in this movie, by the way. He's so good at playing weirdos. I don't know what it is. Maybe he is just a weirdo. The ending is amazing, like the lengths that Colin Farrell's character goes to at first be friends with him again, only to turn around and ruin his life the same way that he's ruined his by, like, you know, killing his donkey, making him feel like a boring, inadequate person, stuff like that. You know, it's heartbreaking. Again, it's a very unconventional story, but it's truly incredible stuff. The script, honestly, for the last like 10 movies I've talked about, the scripts have all been absolutely fucking amazing and perfectly representative of what the director, I guess, has in mind. I love this movie so much. I'm not going to say any more about it. Just watch it. I already talked about Nope. Incredible horror film, genuinely scary, kind of funny, interesting on a concept and execution level, sci-fi twisted horror masterpiece. It's amazing stuff. Honestly, Jordan Peele's best film, in my opinion, out of these, like, I guess, horror film trilogy. This horror film trilogy he has, this is my favorite. I've already spoken about Everything Everywhere All at Once. I can't say any more about it. It's 10 out of 10. It's flawless. It's incredible. It's amazing. All the other films I just talked about, absolutely phenomenal films. This film, the most phenomenal. Those films are platinum. This is diamond. I think diamond's better than high and more high value than platinum. I'm not sure. Don't quote me on that, but still, you get my point. I love this movie. I love everyone involved. Michelle Yeoh, Jamie Lee Curtis, the directors, the kid from the Goonies. Everything about this movie is fantastic. The cinematography, the soundtrack, the special effects, the story, the humor is Raccoony. I want to buy the fucking 4K Blu-ray. That's how much I love it. And I don't even have a 4K Blu-ray player. That's how great this film is. No exceptions. It's absolutely incredible. Please watch it if you haven't. It's been out long enough. You have no fucking excuse. Go watch it. So yeah, that's 2022. Good movies overall. Some duds, but yeah. Guess I'll see you guys in the next video. Peace.